Hey everybody, Daniel here with another Casual Dude review, and today we're going to be talking GMTs. Before I jump into that, I just wanted to say a lot of the people in the comments have been asking about what cases I use, and so I do have a legit watch box, but I like these cases. These are really cheap, they're on Amazon, and they kind of stack well in my safe. So if you don't have a safe with a tray big enough for an extensive watch collection, these are great. I even got some of these labels here that I write on and attach them to the zipper. And so this helps me identify them so I don't have to open all of them before finding the watch that I want, which is nice. But yeah, these are anywhere from, they're around $15 on Amazon. You can get on Amazon. I've got them also on sale for $11 as well. So I think I have 5 of these now. And anytime I, reach a point where I need to expand my collection, I'll just order another one. And yeah, they're great. They have a kind of a soft interior liner that prevents scratching of the watches. As you've seen from my other videos, maybe that all the watches are on foam, and so there's no chance of them bumping into each other. They fit sturdily in here. It's a great travel case, or it's great at home if you want to keep it locked up. So that being said, let's jump right in and start talking about the watches. Now, as you know, I like to kind of tell my story of each watch as we go through this. The last video I posted was of a Explorer. I got a 40mm Explorer, and I got the call for that about 3 weeks ago. And then 1 week later, I got a call for this one. And so I wasn't really anticipating buying 2 watches in a span of a week, but I usually put the watches that I want out there at various ADs. This and the Explorer came from 2 different ADs. But, sometimes when the call comes, you have to answer it. And so the latest addition to the collection is this GMT Master 2. And this is the root beer variation, which is a 2-tone of stainless steel and rose gold. Everose gold, as Rolex calls it. So this is a beautiful piece. And just to continue on the story, this was a piece I never really thought I wanted. And I've always thought it was beautiful, don't get me wrong, but we were going to dinner, my wife and I, and we swung by to say hi to my AD, which is right next door to the place that we like to have dinner. And she saw it in the exhibition case and said, "Oh, honey, I really like that." And I said, "Yeah, I've seen it before, but, not really my thing. I think I'm good on my collection now." And she said, "Oh, well, at least try it on." So I tried it on. She loved it. I loved it. And I ended up telling my ADs that I wanted it on my list. And I'm glad I did. It's the only Everose Gold Rolex that I have at the moment. If you look through my videos, you may have noticed that I did have a 2-tone Everose Gold Datejust, and it was a beautiful watch, but I didn't really connect with it after having it for a while, so I ended up moving on from it. But this is the only Everose Gold Rolex in my collection now. I think they do a great job with this, as well as the Daytona. You can't go wrong with Everose Gold. Of course, you are gonna have to deal with softer materials, so this watch is susceptible to scratching a lot easier than the pure stainless model. But we'll compare that with the Batman, which I haven't done a video on yet, but I got that back in 2021. And so we'll kind of take a look at them side by side. Again, both beautiful watches. Of course, the GMT Master 2 has a bi-directional rotating bezel. And this model has kind of what looks almost like an aged brown with a black, and that is to denote the night and day time of day. So when you're using this for multiple time zones, it makes sense. So for instance, in this, it was designed originally to track 2 time zones, but of course, as most people know, you can track 3 time zones with a GMT. And so what you can simply do is move the bezel to the hour hand, or you can even move the hour hand and use the bezel, the hour hand, and the regular minute and hour hand as 3 different ways to tell time across 3 different time zones. So again, a beautiful watch. We'll go ahead and take it off, put it on the wrist. So you can see what it looks like on my 7 3/4 inch wrist. And here we go. There it is. Switch cameras here to do the close-up. So gorgeous watch. It does almost look like it's, kind of a throwback to a retro era. It's got a little bit of that kind of coloration that makes it almost look like a false patina around the numbers. But as you can see here, get a little ASMR out of it. It does have a bi-directional bezel, unlike the Submariner, which is only single directional. And yeah, this is really one of the ultimate pilot watches. And I don't mean the root beer in general, but just the GMT Master 2. It was designed with Pan Am pilots in mind. And so when this watch did come out, it was meant for pilots to track multiple time zones as they kind of flew between time zones. And yeah, it's a gorgeous piece. I haven't worn it yet. I just got it and I just got back from vacation, but I think I'm going to put this into my rotation. So as you can see, the Everose Gold goes all the way through the band and then is even on the crown there. We'll go ahead and take it off and do some close-up details there so you can see the whole watch. The GMT Master 2 does have a micro adjustment as well. So when you are starting to expand in the heat, as I typically do, as I'm kind of doing now in this hot LA weather, you're able to adjust the watch. So here we are, nice close up, gorgeous dial, black dial. You can see the Everose Gold around the hour markers there, around the bezel, all throughout the band, and even the clasp here. And we'll do a close-up here of the crown. So as you can see there, we have our Rolex crown on the crown, also in Everose Gold. So this is an absolutely gorgeous piece. Love the coloration of it. Again, not something I had originally wanted, but you know, sometimes things happen and sometimes you just have to treat yourself and take the call when it comes in. So we'll put that back on the foam here and then we'll do a side by side with the Batman. So they are the same dimensions, of course. The biggest difference here would be the colors of the bezel and the material. So both of them are two-tone. Well, they're not both two-tone, sorry, but they both have, you know, different kind of shades here. So this one, obviously the center of the bracelet is Everose Gold. Here it's stainless. They do both have the stainless exterior on the links, and the Batman and the root beer both have a polished center links. So there they are side by side. Look at the back together. Let's close this up so we can get an apples to apples comparison. So yeah, this is a really gorgeous watch. I love the GMT Master. I am a sucker for pilots watches in general. I love aviation. My first Rolex was an Air King. I have, as you may have seen from past videos, a Cartier Santos. And yeah, I just love the aviation aspect of these watches. So there they are. Now, I know a lot of people, if given the chance to get them GMT these days, would probably opt for a Pepsi. Fortunately, I've never really, you know, I love the Pepsi, I love the way it looks, but it's never been a watch that I've decided, you know, I need to go out of my way for. It's obviously more expensive in the secondary market, and it's also a little bit tougher to get in an AD. And so as a Batman fan myself, and, you know, deciding that the colors of the blue and black on the Batman were a little bit easier to match to my outfits, this was the one I asked for. And we'll talk about it in another video, but funny story. So this watch, I asked for a Batman and they called and said, hey, we got a Batgirl in, but you can have it now. And I took it. And then I went back to Rolex and I said, can I buy an oyster bracelet and swap it out? And fortunately at the time they said yes, bought the bracelet. They said, all right, it's in, but we have to put it on for you. Let them put it on, and just never went back. So I think the Pepsi looks better on the Jubilee bracelet. I do prefer the Batman on the oyster bracelet. I think it looks just more like a tool watch, even though these days, you know, watches are nothing more than jewelry, really. But I really like the look of the oyster bracelet on here. Now that I do have kind of the, you know, Everose oyster bracelet here, I might consider putting it back on just for some diversity. But I don't know. I just find this so comfortable and such a good looking watch on the oyster. So that being said, you know, with the Bruce Wayne out now, I hate saying that. I really don't like calling it the Bruce Wayne, but everybody knows what I'm talking about when I say that. So with that watch out now, and, you know, you have your two-tone Everose Gold, root beer, you've got Batman, you've got Pepsi. I'd love to know in the comments which one you would purchase if you had the chance for any GMT, current reference GMT, and could get it today. And, pretend like price doesn't matter. When we ask this question, we don't want you to look for specific value in it. Yeah, obviously the Pepsi is going to have a higher resale value, so don't consider that in your answer. But I'd love to know which GMT you like better between these two. And if you had the choice to get a GMT, which one would you get? What color configuration would you get? Would you get a two-tone? Would you get a stainless? Would you get, as we mentioned, the Bruce Wayne configuration? It has a more muted bezel since it's gray and black, but it does have that nice pop of green on the GMT hour hand. So would love to know what you think. I hope you liked this video. As you know, I like putting out these short videos just to kind of tell my story and show you close-ups and provide comparisons for you. And so, yeah, that's that. Love the GMT, probably one of my favorite Rolexes, and talked a little bit about the case. If you have any questions about that, feel free to ask in the comments. I will provide some answers for you there. Let's zoom back in here and take a look at it. The third spot is for my Submariner. That's become one of my dailies, and so that's why it's not seen here. But yeah, hopefully you like this video. Two great watches. Obviously, there is a price difference between the stainless and the two-tone, but I think considering two-tone is a gold, it is a much, I don't want to say better value, but I think there's value there. I mean, I would rather buy this, or you might have seen my two-tone Daytona. I would rather have that than honestly spend above retail price through the secondary market on a stainless watch. So yeah, I hope you like it. These are great watches. Can't go wrong with a GMT. Again, let me know which ones you like better. And if you were to have a GMT current reference, whatever your choice would be, dump it in the comments. I'd love to see what you would pick. Just out of curiosity, I love telling my story and listening to other people's stories. So one last time in the case, there we go. Nice close-up of both. Great watches. And, honestly, I don't travel that much these days, but I do business with people in Europe and Asia. And so sometimes when I do wear this, I actually use the GMT functions for what it should be used, and that's tracking multiple time zones. Am I reaching out to them too late? Are they reaching out to me too early? I'll look at my watch and say, okay, well, this is the time there. I can send them an email, or this is the time here. I should stop working. So hope you liked it. Hope you liked another video from Casual Dude Reviews, and I look forward to your comments as always. And as you know, I try to respond to all of them when I can. So leave the comments and we'll hear from you, or rather, you'll hear from us soon. Thanks.